Hello, I've recently been putting my time into the Twisted Christmas Jam 2022, a set of 13 Arcane Dimensions maps of pretty high quality. The map I'm going to be showing off in this video is ordered Entropy by Strider, a beautiful, curved, modernist sort of concrete base that gives way to the stunning Void Arena and a boss battle to cap it off. It's visually striking, it has a fantastic ambient soundtrack, and on top of that it's extremely fun to play aggressively, so I decided to do a little playthrough on Evil difficulty just to show it off. Now I do have to make a little caveat here. Evil difficulty is a lot like Copper's Nightmare. You have a 50 HP cap, but there's also some additional restrictions such as Mega Health can only heal you up to 100, and on top of this, projectile speed increases in Arcane Dimensions as you increase the skill level. The one downside is that Evil difficulty gives you the Shadow Axe, which is a beefed up, extremely stunlock heavy version of the axe to begin with, and this breaks any map which starts you with no items. This is one of those maps. So at the beginning of this map on Evil difficulty, I have a Shadow Axe and a shotgun, and I really should have neither. There's nothing I can do about the Shadow Axe, but what I did to try and make it a bit more fair and in line with the rest of the difficulty settings was simply not use a single barrel shotgun at all through the playthrough. I actually unbound it on my keyboard. I think that's an acceptable concession to bring the gameplay in line with Nightmare, but slightly harder. I can still kill a knight with the Shadow Axe in one hit instead of two, but it really doesn't make much of a difference. Well, without further ado, here we go. So here we go. You start rising from your grave. You're supposed to have no weapons here, which means the axe pickup's supposed to be significant. I love the soundtrack here and how it starts off with a little heartbeat as you rise up, and then the music starts to swell as you progress. That's very nice. There's two paths here. I'm taking them rather quickly. You can take the Archives path, which I've taken on the left, or the Chambers path on the right. It uses the Arcane Dimensions progressive weapon pickup system, this, so it's always the same order of weapons you pick up no matter which way you go, which is neat, but I would say there's a lot less in the Chambers path. There's heavier opposition and there's less nails, so I found myself running out when I went to test to see if that was any faster. So I didn't go for it really. But as you can see here, these are two looping paths to go back to the central atrium. You need to open both of them to get to the next sort of section of the map to break the Great Seal. It's really beautiful. You can see all the curves here and the architecture, which I'm whizzing by. This is why you should go play this immediately, because it looks so nice. And all of the highlights for the sort of sigils and pseudo-religious symbols on the walls and stuff, very nice. All the candles and the red lighting. Ooh, it's pretty. It's real pretty. Something else I've not really mentioned here, you shoot the skulls to unlock seals and progress the map. Those skulls are actually kind of a pain in the ass to shoot, I'm not going to lie. That one in particular, because with the shotgun, double-barreled shotgun, and the way the spread works with it, I don't think there's a pellet that goes exactly in the centre of your crosshair, so I used a nail gun for it. And you have these guys from Arcane Dimensions 1.8, I think they first made their appearance in Battles, Tears and the False God. I don't know what they're called, these guys, but they are fucking lethal. You've got them capping off each little wing here. They have so many attacks. They have sort of a Death Knight's attack, which is extremely powerful. And then they've got like the fire, which is area of effect, and they've got the sword chop, which can one-shot you on Evil with 50 HP, so watch out. So there we go, we've already breezed through one wing. You know, on a roll here, on an absolute roll. The Chambers wings here, very nice. The books just give you a little bit of like background lore about the Void, where we're going to go to for the next part of the map, bit of a spoiler there. But second wing, you get the grenade launcher when you start it, which is it means so much. I feel that there's enough ammo in this to really be aggressive with grenades, but I fail to really capitalise miserably. Those crossbow archers there, they're not the kind of Arcane Dimensions that can track you. So they're not the, I think they're not the marksman ones or whatever we call them, which is great. I don't think there's any in this set, because those guys can and will do huge amounts of damage. And you can see here another issue with these boys. The door frames, they look really nice in this map, but they're too narrow. They're easy to snag on, which is a pain in the ass. And also, it's much easier for the big enemies like that to snag on them and just not be able to get to you. Which is kind of lame, because you can cheese them out quite badly. I prefer not to do that, so it worked out that time. Sometimes as well, when you miss your grenades, it'll shatter the skull, and you can pretend you meant to do that in the first place to save time. when really you just missed the basic grenade. And you can see here, when you know what you're doing with the grenade launcher, when you know what's coming up opposition-wise, you can go for it. Both the armors in this map as well, worth mentioning, they're in secrets, so if you don't find those, you're going to be kind of starved and wanting it. And these two fellas here guard the next section of the map, two of them together again. I really made a hash of this. I think they can self-damage each other they can damage each other quite significantly, which means sometimes they drop very quickly, sometimes they don't. That was okay. And here's the reveal here. The second part of the map, second half, is this void with the purple. So pretty. Be careful when you're walking on that walkway, by the way, with the teleporters, because the monster wall there, you couldn't see it. It does shake the camera and it does make you move about. You could easily walk yourself off the edge if you're not careful. Falling in the void here is an instant kill. It's not a nice map when it comes to having a void, so just watch yourself. And the Drolls are a good enemy for this, because the Drolls do bully you around quite hard when they go into enrage mode, so they're almost baiting you into falling off. And then you've got the Vorlings just there to make it even harder to move about. So it's a nice little, it's a nicely designed bit of monster placement there. They're very thematically appropriate, and they fit the space. They do the job you want them to do. Just lovely. And I love how the void here has these sigils. Kind of like the Orthodox Cross, or a bit like that Psychic TV logo. Psychic TV? But I love this void. I could do it. Like, the whole map was just the initial sort of modernist underground concrete chapel-y thing, or if it was just this void area, I'd be happy. The fact that they're both there is great. I really want to see more maps utilise this sort of aesthetic. Strider, you should make more. It's just beautiful. And I think I'm just going to let these 4 balls hit me, because what's the point, you know? What's the point? I'm not too bothered. Very sparse opposition here, I've got to say, considering what I'm doing with all these buttons. You expect more, but the map makes do with a very limited number. And this is what makes the map difficult. This is where we cross the line from being quite an easy map to quite a nasty map. This Chthon fight. If you don't know, you can damage these ones, and you have to. It's 15 grenades, and there's 3 phases, and that'll 15 grenades in the middle of the body. And with each end of a phase, he spawns more boys in. But those projectiles track very hard. And I don't like projectiles that can track and predict where you're going to go at all, because they require absolute focus, especially on Evil, where the projectile speed is even faster. You've really got to know how to manipulate him, how to move in such a way that when you move, it's just when he's about to throw, so he throws the ball as far away as possible from you. Because the balls are angled downward as well, and because the balls are angled downward, that means that if you dodge a little bit, the ball might hit behind you. You don't want to be moving forward and backward here, you just want to be moving left and right gently. But in general, it's best to avoid any situation where you're not paying full attention to him, so abusing the fact here that I can just stand in the portals to block the spawns makes it so much easier. I genuinely struggled with this fight, and what I did with it the first few times when I started to struggle is I thought, okay, and I turned Arcane Dimensions up to skill 10, which it does, by the way. The higher you increase the skill integer, the more the projectiles speed up. So if you go to speed 99, they're throwing them so fast it's basically instant, straight into the floor. And that's how I learned how to do that. But there you go. That is Strider's map, whatever it's called. I've forgotten the name of it. How embarrassing. Ordered Entropy. Please go and give that map a go. Way too much for me to talk over. I need to think of a new format for making videos, perhaps. Maybe I need to play slower, and maybe I need to pause the video and draw little, like, indecipherable American football play instructions all over the screen. Anyway, Twisted Christmas Jam 2022. Go play it. Thanks to everybody who contributed. There's way more great maps in there as well. Everything is worth playing. It's on Slips here. I'll put a link in the description. Goodbye.